So we've got a support Zeus coming out from EG here. Last time I saw a support Zeus, it's played by Ali 2000 actually.
For battle.
He played a support Zeus and just ran out to the lane, spammed out as much chain lightning as he could, forced the other support heroes in the cores off the lane, ran back to base, regenerated back up again, and then came back out and did the same thing all over again.
Yeah, the other aspect as well is that against the Zeus, good luck ever having any wards up. Once he has any semblance of mana regen, even if it's just a soul ring or some arcane boots, he's just going to be dropping down lightning bolts, you know, randomly near rune spots and on wards, and you know, every single time he finds a ward, pretty easy D-ward, and that makes it very restrictive for VICI gaming on vision, and vision is just supremely important in Dota, so the new lightning bolt is actually pretty crazy, and we'll see if Zai gets to show it off in this game.
Well, in we go. So let's actually run through our lanes so we all get our bearings for this game. So down the bottom lane, it looks to be a safe lane. Actually, hang on. No. We have a safe lane FY Tinker. We have Fenrir supporting him with a Skywrath Mage and Super as the Earthshaker. They'll be the two roamers in this fight. As in towards the middle lane, you get Black as the Razor, and that puts Ice to the off lane as the Pugner in this matchup. So interesting to see Super over on that Earthshaker. Just want to flag that as the first thing before we even look at EG's lineup. So they're actually happy to give Tinker over to FY. Maybe Super's not feeling on the mark today.
Man, FY. I mean, I called him greedy before when he was playing Jungle Doom, but now he's taking a safe lane Tinker. I mean, he is known for his, you know, for his solo mid skills and his mechanical abilities as well. So it's not a big surprise to me that he is a Tinker player, but looks like that's going to be the play here for VICI Gaming. I like the decision to put the Tinker down on the safe lane because in theory, you know, you're not going to win the game like this unless the Tinker does well. So they're putting him in the best position to hopefully get some good farm, but that means they're not getting as much out of the laning power of the Razor, and we'll have to see. The offlane Pugna I think is fine just because Ice is only really there to max out Nether Ward and be a bit of a nuisance. So
I'm more concerned about what just happened up on top lane. This is the downside about throwing out that fissure from Super. The dire creep wave went underneath the tier 1 tower and instantly forced the waves back up again. This gave 2 full waves of experience over to Fear. At the same time, I suppose the same stuff is happening over to VG Gaming, but they lost control of the lane. So the lane's actually a long way up for EG, and unless they did what they're doing right now, which is to grab the creep wave and drag it over and hold it where it is, they don't control the lane enough. And even now, the creep wave is probably still going to hold up around this point. So it's not as bad for VG Gaming after a little bit of repair movements.
Yeah, I think VICI are fine if the lane just keeps pogoing around. It's not necessarily a clear win for them in this lane in being able to get kills on either the Lycan or the Zeus, so.
Fissure's over on Fear. Ice isn't close enough. If it was to Decrepify, Blast, and Fissure all at the same time, then Fear might be in a little bit more trouble. That's a nice little rune to swipe out. 1 DD rune coming their way. Universe and PPD have stopped the pull coming out from VG Gaming, so they're actively moving into the enemy jungle, trying to stop this from happening, and you got a level 2.5 on both of them as well. Not a huge amount of CS coming their way. At the same time though, FY is going to be really concerned to take here. Fissure, nice. Fear, low on life, there's not enough base damage. Fear will back up, and he might actually have to walk all the way back to base because of this.
Zai's going to give him his salve, I think.
True.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
How's that mid lane looking?
It's a good lane for the Death Prophet. She just spams it out and the Razor can't really get up in her face and steal much damage, so I think things are going about as expected. Maybe a tiny bit better for Arteezy than I thought it would be, but he did pick up some early boots as well, so it's going to take him a little while to get to his bottle, but does get a clarity dropped off as PPD roams through, so it looks like he's going to be fine.
And Zai's having a lot of fun here with Ice. He's trying to time his lightning nicely, but then PPD, good time for a rotation as well. Already got the Gale off, Super's too low, and Fear's coming in. There's your Zeus Bolt. Able to get the kill, and First Blood actually split up because it seems that it was taken by one of the melee creeps that was there. First blood still spilt, and that's going to go the way of EG. 3 minutes in and a half.
Yeah, really nice rotation, as you said, out of PPD. Not the... It was kind of obvious. He poked his head out on middle lane as well, so they kind of knew what was going on, but still managed to catch them out. And well, Howl plus all of that Zeus early game damage ends up working wonders.
I'm interested to see how Zaya's now going to build. If he just goes for like max points up in the lightning bolt, or if he still feels like the static.
No, I think you definitely go for bolt. It's just being support. I don't think changes your build too much on Zeus. Maybe if you want to do a lot of dewarding with lightning bolt, you would leave it at a low level. But I don't know if I've ever seen that. Nice Fisher from Super, just being a pain in the butt.
He's just making Arteezy wait. It actually worked for Arteezy anyway, because the courier was brewing in his bottle. So the courier was going to take time anyway. So hey. Got the 3 bottle charges off, picks up the rune. There was no pressure coming out from VG to stop it, because Zai was just standing there protecting it. I say Zai's again being initiated on. Difficult for him to stand on this lane, and he's got a nether ward, but a level 1 nether ward at this point of the game, you don't want to be dropping that kind of stuff. It's too much wasted mana if he does it. And EG would just throw 1 bolt from the Zeus and stop. They're not spamming their abilities at the moment.
Yeah, and if Isis had been Galed there, he was dead. Fear had a Howl ready to activate, so the supports could have just right-clicked him down. I mean, he's only sitting at 400 HP right now. So it does need to play pretty carefully on top, and especially since he doesn't have a ward off to the side to keep an eye on what PPD is actually up to. But Isis, he's an experienced offlaner, he knows what he's up to, so he should be okay.
There is one lane which is going really badly for EG right now. I say really badly considering it's just a Chikira soaking up the experience after the Zeus left, but it's 12 for 4 up against 26 for 11 CS. So shutting down like the Tinker so he doesn't reach his boosted travel at a quick time isn't happening at all for EG. Because they left the bottom lane. There's no more pressure on him, so FY is feeling very, very confident to farm up. And he's doing a bloody good job of it too. Keeping up with the crop, not as much, but still. He's in front of the bike at the moment.
So I just want to point this out. I'm really guessing this wasn't intentional by Fear, but he ended up building Tranquil Boots.
Oh, PPD's in trouble.
PPD.
The blast, the fissure, and well, there's a ward down there. He's waiting for PPD to throw a ward out. He's trying to get for a block, but it won't work. The fucking blast doesn't work. And Arteezy, well, Zai, lightning bolt, need a little bit more damage. Arteezy doesn't have it past the field. Like needs one more attack into Arteezy and won't get it. The fissure, however, from Super comes across the ravine and is able to bring down the Zeus. But that's still a death of a razor for a Zeus. I suppose you still got the other one too, so hey. It's a good trade for VG Gaming. Levels it up 2 apiece. But you were talking about Tranquil Boots over on the Lycan.
Yeah, I don't think that was... I don't know if that was intentional for Fear.
Meant to be Vlad's, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless he's more worried about the amount of damage which is still coming out from the Pugna. Needs something to regenerate. Looks like Arteezy found himself a nice little kill. Nice pass, too short. FY is away. Even with a Crypt Swarm it won't work, but then with a dual breath into Fenrir, that'll work. Threw a concussive shot out. But Universe just shrugs it off. He's going to TP himself out to safety as well. This kind of leaves Arteezy a little exposed, but with his phase boots, his movement speed will allow him to escape. He kind of wanted that kill as well. He's only 19 points of experience away from Exorcism, and with a 4-3 build, triggering Exorcism now is not exactly what he wants, but he could force some damage or some rotations from VG Gaming.
Yeah, and this is where they can have the Lycan pressuring one lane, the Death Prophet threatening another, and at least get one tier 1 out of the exchange. Zai almost has his Arcane Boots over at mid as well, so the support Zeus is doing pretty well for himself. And well, VICI Gaming, at least the good news for them is that FY is getting very, very close to his BOTs. So they are going to be able to start spamming out and holding under these tier 1s, get Black into farm mode, which he's very familiar with, and go from there.
Arteezy in Fear. He's in a corner. If he tries to TP, which he doesn't even own one, he'll die straight away. But he got his Arcane Boots at least. But that's the Pugna dead. Arteezy up on the top lane, hits level 8. Oldie is up. They can take tier 1. It really is just that simple as well. Trigger Exorcism and just go in. There's no qualification development for VG Gaming as well. so there's no defense. And PPD's keeping their eyes attentive to that bottom lane. Fissure hits nicely on Universe, sealed up as well. He's just going to try and TP up, of course, to get there with the secondary stun. But
Radiant's top tower
TP's
has
in.
fallen.
We'll be able to get the blast and get the kill. One thing that could actually reach over that Fissure. But at the same time,
Radiant's bottom tower
you've got the tier 2 tower now taking damage from that remainder of the Exorcism. And the new creep wave that's arriving, not to mention Fear and his wolves. And the only defense is FY's March. He's only got one of them. And they'll back up now.
Yeah, so FY does have his BOTs up now, so they can start hanging out to some towers, but it's just worth pointing out how ridiculously early this EG push is coming online. Like, they were just threatening a tier 2 at 9 minutes in to the game, and that's just the power of the Death Prop. It looks like Fear may have been meaning to buy the Tranquil Boots. He's actually just rushing straight into an Echo no Vlads for him this game. There isn't really anybody else to benefit from the Vlad's aura, so
Bottom lane.
I guess skipping it is fine.
They're looking for the partner. The Netherward is down right now, and it's actually, well, the seal helps Death Prophet. We threw the Crypt Swarm out, then he would have dropped very, very low. But that means the Netherwards ends up being wasted. While FY is back into the jungle. So he got his BTs, he could finally afford up his bottle as well, so his movement in and out of the base isn't as bad as it was before. He was short of his bottle when he was doing the Ancient stack, so he didn't actually have enough mana to finish the Ancient stack properly like most Tinkers would, because he just tried to speed everything up with the BTs.
But yeah, FY's doing okay. His team's still making a lot of room for him to grab the available farm, so he's not really making a whole lot of space just yet, but again, his role for now is just to continue slowing things down. The big question for me is, what is the first team fight going to be for VICI Gaming where they look to actually take the fight and start turning the direction of this game? I mean, stalling is all well and good, but you know, eventually they have to try and shift things in the opposite direction, and exactly when that's going to be is a pretty difficult call. Black probably going to be working on a mech, but it is going to take him a little while to get there. I don't know what he's picked up so far. Not a whole lot. Oh, where's all this gold actually? I guess it's just Wanda and Aquila.
It doesn't really feel like it should just be that though.
Yeah, where's everything else?
I don't know. They kind of stripped it off. His net worth's right though. His net worth's keeping up with, well, it's right next to the Pugner right now, but seems to be a little bit short. 4 stars, nice ice path actually coming out from Universe, but they're a little bit too far away. PPD was backing himself out of that one. He's trying to be as defensive as he can with his Venomancer. He might need a couple more Plague Wards if he wants to make sure he can break down that nether wall when it gets planted early on. And we get a smoke gank coming out from VG Gaming. Only 4 heroes, they're missing the Tinker, but obviously, Mr. BT man, he can be there at a moment's notice. But PPD is ready for it. Like, there's a hell of a lot of wards up here in the middle lane, and technically there's actually 5 heroes here too, and it looks like it's Roche time. Here in Universe are coming in. Dyer's hovering around, Arteezy will use the Exorcism. So they want this very, very quick Roshan. I will keep him out with a little bit of lightning, and then, hey! Mystic Flare burns him. Sun greater than lightning. But the Aegis Immortal still belongs to EG. The big keeping the creep wave off the tier 1 tower. So EG can come back up against the Exorcism. It's still got another 5 to 10 seconds left on it. So it can get rid of this middle lane quite easily. But the March is keeping him off the front line, so EG can't just run themselves into the engagement. But they'll hold their tier 1 tower and take Roshan for the cost of their support Zeus. They should also flag too, is walking around with his Thunder God's Wrath. So with that ultimate, there's no easy way for VG Gaming to keep themselves hidden.
Yeah, definitely not. And I guess EG just gonna probably keep on trucking. Arteezy a long way out of bottom lane, but okay, Fisher's on the wrong side, so it looks like he's gonna be just fine. There wasn't a Mystic Flare available for 1 second either, so I think he's gonna be okay.
Universe is just letting the tick damage happen on the tower while PPD preps for some aggressive wards. He actually finally put the sentry down as well, watching on the ancient area. I say watching, blocking the ancient area. So no more flash farming for the Tinker, at least on the ancient area. But he's about to farm up inside of his jungle, and that's his Blink Dagger. So a 13.5-minute Blink Dagger is now arriving for a Tinker. And EG's running out of ways to control him. I'm not seeing this EG push arrive yet. I know they're probably still waiting for like the level 3 Necrobooks from Fear. The Yield Slipper from Arteezy as well. And the Mech Charges come up from Jakiro. Like, these are all their critical things they need to get. But at the same time, VG Gaming are building into bigger items too. I'm not seeing it there for Black. He's got treads now. But they're still forcing the lanes out with this Pugna, and they're finally going to take their first tower. This be this mid one with the blast. Attempted denial from PPD was wishful thinking.
Yeah, and they've almost got the mech up on their Pugna as well, with Isosai securing that tower last hit. So I think VG going to be a little bit more combat ready pretty soon, and it all comes down to who's going to be better with just having those core items up. So it's like Necro 3, Mech, and a Yules against Blink Dagger, Mech, and well, Black has a couple of little items here and there. Maybe he's just going to be, I don't know what he's going to be rushing straight into actually this game. Maybe just a BKB, just so he doesn't get ice path down and everything else, and can just get up in EG's face.
In this game, it kind of has to be a BKB, but he's still going to be insanely mindful about that Crob ulti. Because if Exodus is next to him, the BKB won't do its job. They're coming into mid now. There's a lot of TPs coming into mid, including the Tinker. But he just blinks up to where the Dire Observer Ward is. So he tries to farm up the Ancients. And it's just a farm, because he was too late for the pull.
Look at PPD right now. He doesn't care that there's a tier 1 mid. He's just like, well, I'm gonna come steal your creep camp with some Master Ward, with Plague Wards, and have a good day.
He's fine with that. Those wards should even block up the camp as well. They won't even respawn for them. The bottom lane's about to be taken out. He's actually doing some prep wards now behind the tower. This is just vision wards really. Then throws one out, gets a little bit of a slow into ice, and Super gets hit as well. I'm just wondering, when the hell did this Venomancer arrive? Seeker's gonna TP himself up. Where does he blink to? Doesn't blink at all. The ice path is a little bit off target there for Universe. But they brought that T2 tower down to half of his life points. It's going to keep that liquid fire charges like hitting into the tower, while Zai is solo farming up the top lane and building his own Yule Scepter. And Fear's gone dog form with his Necro unit level 2, trying to force the tier 1 tower in the middle lane. And that's exactly when PPD rotates back in again. You got the poison sting over to Black, misses on the Gale however. But Black has to give up the mid-tier tower. There's no other choice.
Oh, Arteezy.
Why? Why is he still there? That's something good. This has happened now, I think at least 3 times, if not 4 times today.
At least he's consistent, Toby.
That's true. And I've consistently missed it because I hold Arteezy in a higher pedestal than that.
Is that your excuse?
That's my excuse for missing that kill, yes.
There we go.
Just the basic fact of he shouldn't be there. He should have moved towards the middle lane with the rest of his team. Or move back to like farm up the Radiant jungle. Not to sit on the lane and try and do some chip damage onto a tower. Either way.
So, Arteezy gets caught out, but I don't think it shouldn't be a huge loss for EG. Tinker as close as he's getting to his Dagon. Getting close-ish, but still gonna take a little while. Aegis will be reclaimed in about a minute, but I don't think EG are too stressed about that. We've got the Necro 3 up on the Lycan, and I think a lot of it just comes down to the team fights. Though both teams are just kind of running up and poking away at towers for now and finding incidental kills. Everyone's just focusing on the buildings.
Radiant's top tower
Fissure on
is under
PPD.
attack.
The Gripper Fly got up before it. And the blast will come, but then again,
Dire's
so will the
bottom
Mech
tower
and Fear,
has fallen.
triggering out the Necro units. He's really low on life as the Aegis the Immortal, which is quite happy to let this pop. Super getting slowed down by the Liquid Fire, but the double march to the Machine Wave. Oh, actually singular. They're not wanting to run through that. But Arteezy, again. So, I gotta watch this guy. I really gotta watch where this guy is moving right now. Because he was running down towards the middle lane. Black TP's in with the remaining Eye of the Storm. But it's like Arteezy's being given a job from the rest of his team of, looked like a really good target that they have to move up and gank. and force out the towers as often as possible. Bring their attention over so Lycan and the rest of the team can find farm and pressure the other lanes. And you just survive.
Yeah, and Arteezy's doing exactly that. Pops the Exorcism, gets a little bit more damage down on the tier 2. I think he was hoping to force a few more TPs, but it looks like Ice with the wave clear is going to be enough for now. Black has the item progression going, Ogre Club and another 2.5k gold for him, so drifting pretty close towards his BKB, and that's going to be a really big pickup for VICI Gaming. That might be the timing that they're kind of looking for to start taking a couple more team fights, and that should line up. Well, yeah, the Tinker Dagon's already up, so pretty big boost in effectiveness for both the Tinker and the Razor there.
They can look for these snipe offs, but at the same time, like, you're not going to be able to snipe off the Jakiro. And once all three heroes get their Yules, because there's currently 2 with Yule Scepters, even the initiation coming in from the Tinker is going to be really difficult.
So the Thunder's God Wrath used to reveal the fact that that smoke gank was happening. It doesn't damage anybody, but it still gives you the
vision for a moment.
It still gives you the vision, yeah, so there you go. Gets pinged out, and ISSI Super and Fenrir know that the jig is up, so...
Well, EG have moved all the way back inside the base, but that's also because Zai and PPD are completely out of mana. But Death Prophet is actually building into a pipe next. So it's like Arteezy is making sure the team is capable of fighting into the towers without always having to worry about the March of the Machines, or worry too much about it, because they've already got the mech from Universe, and with the Yule Scepters they've got some extra immunity time. Fear also knows too, as these Necro units go down, Tinker, like he's trying to make sure that the damage flies the way of Tinker as often as possible.
Man, this is just the exact same, well, pretty much the exact same death ball push from EG. Buy every single aura item that they possibly can, or that fits on their heroes, and go hit buildings. And it's working.
Well, Arteezy is giving it a shot, man. Fissure, Dagon, Tinker, Yulsa dropping towards the air. Where is the rest of the damage? And there it is. 4 heroes came back to stop him. And they're flagging the fact that Black is up here alone. What's going to be really annoying to EG is the fact that Roshan, for out of the potential 3 minutes, took a grand total of 1 second to spawn.
Is under attack.
So Roshan is there for the taking right now. With the Vlad's over on Fear, the Necro units, they can go in there themselves and do it, but you kind of want the security of making sure the Death Prophet's going to be there with Exorcism in case VG Gaming try and stop them.
Yeah, this must be so frustrating for VICI, the fact that, you know, Arteezy can just throw himself at buildings, but the fact that they have to go and defend it is opening up opportunities for the Lycan and the Jakiro to swoop in and take another tier 2 like they did down on bottom lane. It's very brute force so far from VG, but it is definitely working, and well, we'll see what VG Gaming can do about it. They do now have a Blink Dagger up on Super, so some big slams could definitely turn this game.
That'd be big kill on Ice. Wolf Ball will be used. Decrepify is trying to save him at the moment, but the Wolves are getting in front. The Ice Pass off the target, as well as the Gale Ice. Fancy footwork. A little bit of Twinkle Toes action on the bottom lane. But he does still go down. While in middle lane, Zai, well, what a good thing to have that Yule Scepter. Evades the rockets in, and FY after he blinked himself in, realized he'd have to wait too long for Zai to hit the ground. Now he's coming in again. The rockets will connect, but the laser and Dagon won't be able to. They're actually able to successfully juke out the Tinker when he tries to do a one-on-one initiation, which shouldn't be possible.
But Zeus is a pretty scary hero for Tinker in general, though, since he isn't all that tanky, and anybody else making their way in, especially if he'd gotten Yules instead of Zai using himself, could have been a kill.
Fissure, PPD, the kick lands, and all this work. One shot is almost keeping him alive through this. Now the Exorcism from Arteezy gets 1 kill. They send Tinker up against the air, and Arteezy, he's got to focus FY. Then again, FY tries to focus him. Letting off that Dagon and laser into Arteezy. The make charge will bring their life points back up again. But they realize Roshan's up and they got half of the Exorcism left. But it's still 2 heroes down for 1. And FY starts up with the March of the Machines. This is not going to make life easy for them. In fact, it makes life impossible for them. They have to back up. But third Yule Scepter. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
They should go for the old pub strat where you get somebody down, the new pub strat, I guess, where you get somebody down to like 150 HP, and then you Yules them one after the other, so the 50 damage from the Yules kills them. It's really stupid, but maybe we'll see it happen once this game. I don't know. It depends on how hard EG are winning, maybe.
All right now, man, EG, I'm not feeling that they're winning that heavily, but the gold graph and experience graph tells me differently. 3,000 gold, approaching 4,000 on the experience as well.
For 24 minutes in, that is not all that much of a lead, honestly. I wouldn't say that EG are crushing it by any means, but if they do manage to get in and pick up this next Roshan, that's going to be a really big boon for them. And they are close to some other pretty big items as well. Arteezy 3.7k gold picked up, so he can head into... I don't know what he's actually going to go for. He's sitting on the casual cloak at the moment, so maybe BKB is a little bit unlikely. Maybe just straight into a heart for him if he's really worried about the Tinker. We'll see what he goes for, though.
PPD just, well, he's coming down to D board. It's a fresh gem over on this Venomancer. As Ice thought they're having a crack at it now. Wolf's going to be there. The Gale and PPD well on target when he throws these things. Like someone just changed the sight lines on his rifle. But maybe a bigger catch out. A BKBB usage from Black. Doesn't really seem like much, but it also means Black's moved back.
Nice,
wow, Ice. He's taking so much damage there. What the hell was that?
He killed the Necrobug. He was debating whether or not he wanted to kill it for the gold, and he went for it.
If Zeus was fast enough, that would have been a kill. He has a level 2 ultimate. And now Ice finally the Gal will connect. Dual Scepter up and towards the end. That's not his own. Deception, the Ice Punch. That was Universe Dual Scepter. There goes the Thunderclock Gravity. Super Fenrir. The damage from the Exorcism from Arteezy. Helping him out. Black will come in, but he's got no BKB. And Arteezy, he wants to use his Exorcism to finish up Roshan. To get some decent damage in, and they will have Roshan, even though Ice falls back to try and come back into the fight. So that's what you're talking about, man. The big boon, EG just got it.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, and the new base spirit count on Exorcism is just crazy. The damage that ability puts out is ridiculous. I mean, Arteezy's done quite well to reach level 16 by this point in the game, but you know, even then, it's still absolutely crazy. And I wonder if that's also part of the reason why he was just out, you know, pushing waves so aggressively.
Zeus. Careful, you're Zeus. There was no blink on FY. He could have just run himself away. I think he thought he could get the bolt off in time. And now FY completely mana burned out. Fear made sure of that one. They've juked around the tree line a little bit, which means that Jakira's not in the greatest position. And then Fissure out from Super. And Fear, he's able to get himself out of that position. And Super, wait, the Echo Send on one unit. It allows time for Ice to drain it, but the Ice Punch catches both Black and Ice here. And the Wolves and Necroians beating into Ice. There's a Euro Scepter up and towards the air, but they bring down the Lycan. So Fear, the Aegis symbol will trigger. The Necropire a little bit off target, but the Meg Charge will go. The Ice Punch, this time will catch Super Black, triggering that BKB again of his. Universe low on life after FY to get his combo off, and will finish the job. Fear trying to run away from Fenrir will not be able to happen, however. Sealed up as well as being cut shot at, but on bottom lane, Arteezy has just gone to town. He's forced out the fortification. Black will arrive, but no BKB from him. And this is the reason why Arteezy does what he does. He's still got his ultimate up, so he wants someone just to inch himself up. So he can Crypt Swarm and kill him. He's looking at FY, but the ulti is too far away from him. So Arteezy will back up, but that tier 3 tower's now down to, it's 1/3 of its life points.
Yeah, one thing that I do want to point out, and it's a little bit tangential now, but there was some really nice micro from Fear when he was going after the Tinker there. So Zai canceled the gold. They probably saw that he didn't really have enough to rearm and still get away. And FY was just using his Ghost Scepter to try and get his blink off cooldown, but the mana burn from the blue Necro actually hit him while he was in the middle of the Ghost Scepter, and he wasn't able to get his blink off. He still lived, so it didn't turn out to be as relevant a play, but it was nicely done by Fear. But yeah, VICI Gaming find a couple of kills. They managed to burn the Aegis, but the Death Prophet just continues to chip away at their buildings little bit by little bit.
VG Gaming are trying to actually force something up this middle lane. They smoke and walk past the free lane, and they find Universe. Mystic Flare being committed to try and get the kill. And Death Prophet couldn't do anything. Tried to silence on Super, but Super threw everything he wanted to start with. And as I say that too, Tinker just soloed up Zeus on the top lane. With an E-Blade Dagon, we expect nothing less.
FY's having a really good game. 4-0-1, 200 creeps, top of the net worth, and well, now also finding pickoff opportunities.
And with 2 heroes down, they'll force the mid tier 2 tower. The Plague Wars are trying to keep the creep wave at least away, but Ice knows he doesn't care about that. He just wants to blast down the towers. He's considering running in now. He's got that fresh Reaver as well as Bit Booster. But he'll let the Wolves do the scouting first. Yule Scepter up and towards the end. It's overall 9 side size, but it's just Arteezy trying to stall up the partner more than anything else. And they will back up. Because the Zeus is up and, well, yeah, everyone's back for EG.
It's a really minor thing, but PPD just used his last urn charge to heal Arteezy, who was healing up off his Heart of Tarrasque anyway, so they now don't have the potential for an offensive urn charge in the next fight, but it's a really, really nitpicky thing there. It's super habitual as a support, just, oh look, my core is not at full HP. Give him an urn charge, send him on his way, keep him farming, but
and then realize
who knows?
That he already finished up his heart, like
Yeah, well, and if somebody lives to the next fight on like 100 HP because they didn't get earned as they were running away and they were the first person to drop low, well, maybe PPD will kick himself, but I think it's a little bit far-fetched. But VICI Gaming, things are looking good. The Razor is tanking up even more, working on his Ags. They're still sitting on this Blink Dagger from Super, which is always going to give them the opportunity to make some big plays. He's also managed to reach level 11. That's always good. Another Scouting Zeus ultimate going out, but VICI Gaming, do they actually have a smoke? They're sort of just staying grouped up for now. They don't have a whole lot of vision on the map. Again, a lot of sentry wards and the Zeus bolts here, there, and everywhere are making it life a little bit difficult to go and find pickoffs and maintain map control.
The smoke's on cooldown for 5 more minutes.
Do they have any?
Yeah, 3 of them in stock. They're coming up.
Okay.
PPD, Gale's over on 2. It's still just a level 1 Gale, so it's only the slow. But the Wolves are going to come in anyway, so they're just run straight past him. The Netherwall is still over on the hill as well. So if VG had any intention of trying to pounce on the Gale units, they would have had to get rid of that first.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of subtlety in what EG are doing or what they're trying to do. They're just trying to build up double heart, get to the front of a building, pop off exorcism, do some damage, maybe they drop low, back off, heart heals them up, farm whatever they can, exorcism, back off cooldown, and rinse repeat. And they do have the double heart up now, but the question is going to be whether or not they can actually get close to a tower. FY is doing a really good job of keeping everything split pushed out, while also playing safe and really keeping EG contained this whole time as well.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And this is where EG's lack of initiation is coming back to bite them a little bit, because it's when it's VICI Gaming who are turning up and sitting right in front of the towers, EG don't really have anything aside from Yule Scepters to try and catch them out, which means that VICI Gaming feel pretty secure when they just turn up and lay down March and put in another word to control all of the space in front of the tower. They know that EG aren't just going to saunter into the March of the Machines and take a bunch of damage, so it makes it really easy to bring down the tower with the blast.
The Wolves are on the scouting right now from EG. Wants to have a look inside the pit, but then again, still another minute and a half till Roshan has potential spawn time. They did scout out at least 2 heroes from VG Gaming on the bottom lane, including the one that's also pushing the wave. With more 4-stars arriving. One for the Venomancer, one for the Pugner. There's already another one being built up before that, I think. No, yeah, no, still over, yeah, the one over on PPD. He was the man building that before.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Zeus, is he actually going for an Aghanim Scepter, or is he going to consider a BKB in this game?
He needs BKB, otherwise he's just going to kill himself on the Netherward. So.
True. So, no easy life for him, at least, for this game. But that's going to take a lot of time before he's able to farm it up. I say a lot of time, he's actually not too far off the recipe. He'll soon the Mithril Hammer, of course, but it's looking better. While Ice, there's a blink in. Comes out to design, set up into the Ice Pass follow-up. There's a secondary Yule set that they needed. Zeus throws the ulti out, there's not that many people behind him. And then FY jumps in. E-Blade, Dagon, Rocket. That's all he required to kill off the Zeus. One combination and he's dead. And then Arteezy, lucky to pick up an Invis ring. Gets hit by the fissure of Super. But now EG, they're down their Zeus. They're down their Lycan ulti as well. They're also down the Necro units. Doesn't stop Tinker being in here though. But the rest of VG Gaming here to take that tier 2 tower in the mid.
Dire's
And they'll
middle
succeed.
tower is under attack.
It's objective-based gaming
Dire's
from
middle
both teams.
tower
Everyone
has
pushing
fallen.
as far forward as they possibly can, but the Tinker is the X factors. He's not being dealt with at all, and EG just can't catch him. So
But this
it's going to be very tough.
With their lineup. Their lineup is
Yeah.
meant to force Tinker to come to them. And that's it. Like that was the purpose of their lineup. Their purpose of the lineup was just to be able to force out towers, but right now, the only place where they could technically harm VG Gaming is still that bottom lane. The tower is still sitting at 1/3 of its life points, obviously doesn't regenerate. So that's their goal. That's got to be their opening. But that means that they have to commit someone to the bottom lane to push it out. And push it out a long way without dying to a B-team Tinker. Unless they're trying to set a trap for the Tinker. Might be worthwhile also doing this cliff ward for the bottom lane. So they can see where FY is moving.
Yeah, if they can finally catch FY, then EG can break out of the hold that they're in. But until that happens, it's I think they're kind of stuck where they are for now. As you pointed out, they do have a bunch of smoke, so if they can get some wards down and have a sense of where he's going to turn up to, they could maybe be smoked there waiting on the creep wave and ready to jump in. But FY is also being super conservative with all of his TPs, and he's also faking TPs here and there as well, just to sort of make it a little bit more difficult for EG to work out exactly where he's going to be. Though he does just blink straight out into the creep wave bottom lane right now to confirm exactly where he is.
Trying to get their focus, man, because then he can go up towards top lane and try and battle up against Arteezy. And again, it's a very long way up here, and he'll TP into the tier 2 tower here. Wants to be a double wave to make sure this crop can't do anything on top lane.
So if we continue to have a stalemate for now, the question is going to be what exactly breaks it? What's either going to motivate VICI Gaming to force things, or what do EG pick up that allows them to start 5-manning? They are getting close to a pipe on Universe.
And until they have the BKB on the Lycan, I wouldn't see EG wanting to force anything. And until they have the BKB on the Zeus, I would also not see them trying to force anything. The pipe, yes, it's going to be good, but he's basically almost there. The Shiva's Guard's going to arrive soon for Arteezy as well. FY, well, they're going to silence up to at least do the full combo against Arteezy. But yeah, VG Gaming are the ones that just have to do the chip damage. But they're not even getting something which, okay, they've got the Aghanim Scepter on the Razor, but they need to establish high ground dominance up against an EG lineup, which is really, really difficult.
We're just stalemated for now, and we'll see. VICI Gaming, they're turning up bottom lane. They want to try and go for something. They are gambling Roshan here if they lose. If they lose this fight.
Super's looking for the dunk. The Ice Bar's actually not going to be used. It's going to be the Macropie to start with. Burns up most of the creep wave. It's a really low cooldown on the Macropie anyway. It's only 1 minute. I don't really care too much. Meanwhile, Death Prophet's taking a tower. He's actually got Exorcism available as well. Arteezy could actually force a fallback right now. He managed to bring the Tinker at least, but they haven't got much more.
Radiant's top
And
tower
well,
is under
PPD puts a ward up in the high ground. But that lets him see what he could have been walking into. What he didn't know about is the Observer ward, and now he does with the gem. He's going to get back closer. Yeah, Ward will finish the job. Now VG Gaming are blind on their flank. And there's that BKB. Actually, wait, that's Arteezy's BKB. He got the plate mail and is skipping his Shivas just to get to the BKB.
Kind of needs it against the Tinker. Even if he's really tanky with the heart, he can still be controlled and burst it down, especially with Ethereal Blade or Decrepify plus the Mystic Flare and all the Tinker's damage. The magical burst from VICI is just crazy right now.
PPD is trying to get the wards up, but he still wants to protect that Bracer in the middle lane. Best not to lose that as a Venomance. You need all the life points you can get. Yeah, look,
get it.
Look, it's like, yeah, guys, can we kill that? Can we kill that? Is this Bracer bait? That's actually Universe that was pinging that one out. Wondering who the hell is just like leaving Bracers on the ground. That's the man who has to carry an Observer ward, which is PPD. I think the last ward he wants to plan is down here next to Roshan. Invisibility. So he can see the movement. It's actually moving all the way over. And the observer ward, yep, okay, well, it's not Roshan. It's more of a defensive lane ward for himself. And then a plague ward inside the pit. So they know that Roshan's at least alive for EG. Universe.
Oh, and EG.
Plague ward attacks super. They see him with the invis rune. At the same time, looks like detection of their own. The gem over on the Earthshaker. And EG are coming out. He's trying to outrun him back to base while FY is killing off the rest of his teammates. Is the orb close enough to him? Nah, he's gonna get back to base. The wolf wall will let him survive. But that's still...
Tranquil's in heart as well. But yeah.
That's still a big kill. That's still a very, very big kill. They got Arteezy down again. I suppose at the same time, Razor also died. And he's got BKB and Aghanim, etc. And that BKB is already at 7 seconds. That could have been a hell of a lot worse considering Arteezy in trapped position.
Yeah, the problem is still just FY. What are they gonna do about him? He's 7-0-1. Can somebody, I don't know, somehow buy a Hex? Or not really. Universe is gonna be combo down.
Mage has TP out. That TP was never gonna be in time. FY had just enough mana left to let a Dagon charge go. And that means a Takiro on the sideline. They can keep the pressure up again. There's finally BKB over on Lycan. So Fierce able to run around during these engagements now.
Yeah, so you don't die to FY, but the question is still how you kill him. Yeah, exactly. Especially with Black getting in between you and the Tinker at every opportunity. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, give them some time, man. They're gonna need that Tinker with 2.4k net worth. We're gonna get to a point soon where FY is running a 7-slotted Tinker with a courier just sitting behind him. They've almost managed to, it's hilarious to see it, that even though they're in this kind of position, the towers are actually completely equal now, but for the first time in 40 minutes or 41 minutes, VG Gaming have the gold advantage. They don't have the experience yet, but they're pretty damn close to it. And EG, I think they're considering just running inside the pit. They smoke up, there's no observer wards around here, so they can just walk in, but VG Gaming, they're already coming in the pit. Arteezy's a little bit out of position. I think FY is considering a jump, but he's still a very tanky kind of guy. 3k life points to get through as a Tinker. He'll need more mana than what he's got to do that. And Super jumped in thinking they're actually inside the pit, but they're not.
Yeah, if he jumped on the Death Prophet, then he would have just gotten Yules, and somebody else would have TP'd in. And that probably would have been his death, so smart of FY not to go for that one. It was definitely not worth the risk.
Like it's a very, very long way. At the same time, two heroes, Yules Scepter over on the Earthshaker. The Bulls are coming in, they're already attacking onto Ice. As the Rockets, well, hits on Arteezy and Universe, and they don't care. Universe, even as just a basic support, with both Mech, Pipe, Yules Scepter, and of course it's being Hero, is already up at 1400 life points. But FY's causing him problems. He's still keeping this top lane pushed out, and EG, they don't have an ability to counter this kind of split push. They're gonna lose out in late game trades, unless they can take one hell of a fight, have a lot of heroes still up and running, and force down the lane. That's like the only way this is gonna work for EG right now. And VG aren't giving him the chance. There's no space anywhere for really EG to say, hey, this is where we can fight. So it's 2 heroes or maybe 3 heroes there. But if they commit as a full team, they lose their tier 2 tower on the top, or they lose position.
Yeah, no, I think you're definitely right that if EG try and force things, then they're just going to get split pushed on 2 sides, and they won't really be able to get anywhere. So even more important is just making sure that they don't get picked off, and when VICI Gaming do finally feel confident enough to try and push up onto the high ground, they are ready to take full advantage of that. And as soon as we have a full fight commitment, Fear getting comboed a little bit, but he's going to be okay. But as soon as we have a full fight actually committed, that's where EG needs to have everything ready to throw into it, hopefully win it, and get down the lane, or at least get to Roshan. Looks like this might be it. VICI Gaming looking to come in.
Where'd you jump? It's just a fissure for now. But VICI Gaming are looking to come up to the higher ground, just bit by bit. The March Machines and Rocket Spam keeping them a little bit lower, especially the Zeus. The Zeus is his BKB, so he's ready to fight right now. That's just if VICI Gaming do want to try and force it. But, as we said before, why should they have to try and force it? I'm actually not even quite sure why they're doing this. Because they're already getting further and further ahead with every single hero. The golden experience are coming up, but now they commit 5 heroes to this bottom lane, which is being defended by Plague Wards. And then you got Arteezy, well, Gale jump in, missed on Black. So PPD a little off target, they found Arteezy. BKB will be triggered off by him. He's got a silence over on 3 heroes, and then triggers the X's of Black. Starting up with a Zenic Link and Arteezy, he's locked in here at the same time Super. Burning inside the Magnify, gets the lead to Echo Slam off. You'll set her up from Arteezy. PPD triggers the ult, and they're going to try and actually isolate Black and bring him down with Fear rotating over. While they're flying in the tree line, you'll step her up towards the area, wanting to get out of here, but he's going to get lightning bottom downside, almost doing this solo as just a support Zeus. And Einstein isn't quite sure what else to do here. He's on the sidelines, but Arteezy, he's got your scepter in 1 second. He's going to find him and send him up. Oh, this is a disaster for VICI Gaming. The Tinker, he's trying to TP in. They're looking at Arteezy. He's going to heal up as the Exorcism is going to come back into him. Then again, he picks the Venomancer. The Gems on the deck. The Silence as well. FY, double kill for him. The buyback now worth it. He's jumping up. There's actually Gems just everywhere on the ground. As Fear tries to run himself away, the concussive shot will follow him, but they're not close enough to really get the kill here. And now VG Gaming take the spoils of war. Both Gems go their way. And the Tinker able to get a hell of a lot of farm for his buyback. He's tanky, but to solo up a Tinker, all he could do is disrupt him.
Yeah, definitely can't kill him at this point. So FYI, I did manage to pick up some more Bloodstone charges after that buyback, so at least nice in that sense. Actually dropping his items on the ground. A lot of Tinkers will just keep their stash open and drag items in and out of the stash, but a little bit different here from FY. You can shift Q dropping items onto the ground a little bit better than you can shift Q moving them out of your stash, so that is a bit of an advantage. Fear.
Silence, 4-star will save him from the Mystic Flare, and then Universe, just a basic ice path to keep the creep wave out. With the Nether Ward dropped, EG don't want to really run in there and try and fight that. The walls take forever to bring it down too. Well, that's nice rune to grab. Did he already trigger it? He did. It's a shame he doesn't have a bottle. Trigger ulti, trigger invis. I suppose they though, with the 2 gems over on VG Gaming, it's a little bit more difficult to win at life on that.
Both teams just are vying to get in position to execute their 0 commitment push, where they just sit in front of the building and chip away at it. But that's the battle right now. He's not letting either team get into place.
They're going for Roshan. There's a lot of damage coming into Rosh as well. He's coming to join him. But at the same time, Black and Super. Super's got that blink dagger, so went for his movement in. Black didn't get scaled up. He's not getting close to this one. As well, the Fish Black will take the Exorcism Immortal. The Fish will fly, trying to hold him in, and then blinks away to safety. The 4-star will save Black as well from being out of position. But they take out Roshan. One upside. Looks like the cheese taken by the Death Prophet as well. And they put the urn now onto the courier of all places to try and get it back. That's
this ultimate from Zai was not only good for getting vision and knowing exactly how VG and trying to approach the pit, but it was also really nice to cancel the blink daggers and prevent Super from somehow jumping in right as Roshan was falling and forcing a chaotic team fight. So nicely done by EG just to get in, get out, not get punished at all while the exorcism was about to fade. But we'll see. There is now a 50-second window that they have to get through before they have it back up, and VICI Gaming will at the very least get this tier 2 down during that time.
Too easy for him, man. Too easy for him. Arteezy desperately trying to force out the middle lane. You know what he wants to do? He just wants to keep the split push going with his exorcism. And even if they take a Rags, it's still not going to be enough to get themselves in front. Well, Ice just does this. Sneaks himself up, gets one blast out. Arteezy looking for an opening because the player ball's being picked up by Black with the Fisher. Arteezy just walks around, but he's high movement speed. He's running for Black. Sends him up. VICI, they've got to try and fire him, do they? The Netherward's down, and EG are actually backing up after Tinker TP's up to the top lane. The Rockets being the big indicator of that.
They're not fighting open objectives, so unless one team has a really clearly better initiation opportunity, then there's not that much point. But EG now finally going to start digging into those smoke reserves and see if they can start finding some pickoffs. But it's a very dark map for both sides, aside from the area around the Roshan pit. So they are wandering out, just hoping to find something.
No one's close enough, but it does reveal out the fact that Fear was using smoke. I got a feeling that EG are going to force a full 5-man fight here. All 5 down middle lane. If they can get a pick off, great. If they can't, they take the tier 2 tower for now, and they look to do chip damage from the low ground onto the tier 3 tower. Make the most out of Aegis and Cheese. This is TPing in, that's why. One start the attack, and then will get the semi touch. Missing on the course, that's a Fear on the front line. Fenrir! Wow, he drops the fast. The Venoman's rolling is on him, but he doesn't have an extra point of poison on him, so he won't die from that. But the exorcism from Arteezy, he went so deep on that one, he has to get back out to right. The York will set him up like this. He does pick up the star animation, moving Wolf actually doing the work on that one. And Black just the space, but it's not enough. The accurate slam in from Super, but Arteezy uses Cheese right away. That ultimate is still working from him, and Ice is forced back. Maybe VG getting a bit up a little bit more than they can chew, especially with FY. Caught in the US bomb outside the base. He's forced up, but he's still ticking down. The poison's on him for the ball. They're chasing him down. There's not enough. The Necro unit also taking a fall. The secondary ball was coming in, but the Tinker able to TP himself away, fling himself away to safety. And Kansas, whoops! Yule 7 to Gale combination not working quite right. But EG, they get the fortification out. The liquid fire is burning down the tower, so not enough to kill it off. However, the Plague Wars might do the job. 73 life points. No, they won't do it. And they're not even going to... Are they going to deny it? Ice is choosing right now if they want to hold on to it. But EG, considering they're forcing a fight and what Tinker could have done to their side lanes, I think they're going to be happy with what they achieved just then.
Well, I think they're going to be happy with it, and they almost managed to actually bring down FY. It was just some beautiful 4-staff play from VICI Gaming that actually got him out to safety. And yeah, you were right, the thing that actually ended up finishing off.
Fear. 195 life points from 3,400. That's the combo that you can still pump out from FY into Fear. He's not tanky enough yet to deal with that Tinker.
I don't know if he has another survivability item on the docket here, Toby. I think it's the rest of the shopping list is probably. Do they have an AC yet? No, so that's a pretty strong option. BKB still fairly healthy on duration, 8 seconds, so probably either gets AC or Abyssal Blade, maybe the next choice. There's Ethereal Blade and a bunch of Ghost Scepters and a Decrepify though, so staying right on top of your target is going to be really tough for Fear, along with those 4 stabs that we had shown off by VICI Gaming in the last fight.
Smoke movement coming out from EG, but with everybody missing from the lanes, they're just backing the crap up. They went underneath the Observer Ward, so VG Gaming wouldn't really be expecting them to come through their own jungle, but with everyone missing, actually, they're moving up the middle lane now. If EG play their cards right now, they could in fact come up behind VG Gaming and get a pick off, and Arteezy's the man to do it. He finds Ice, silence first. Didn't actually go with the Yule Scepter to start with. And now there's more support. The Hex over on Arteezy, but here comes Universe. They need to get rid of the Netherward. It's already being pinged out. The bottom lane's being forced out by Fear. They're putting a high ground here. The tower's already pretty low. And the Exorcism, yep, Arteezy goes in. The tower melts straight away. He did get himself E-bladed up with the drain, but it's not enough to kill him off. He just backs up and the heart's going to come off cooldown, so he's going to regenerate as well, while the ultimate doesn't work. That melee rack, there's no fortification. They're just trying to force their way in with the Necro unit as well. Hell, they try and keep it up, but they can't finish the job. The melee racks will regenerate now, and VG Gaming hold the line. Objective-based Dota. That's what it's all about, man.
I mean, that was it. They charged in, they ignored all the heroes, they popped Exorcism, they popped Necro, they hit the buildings, things got ugly, or things got a little bit scary, and they ran for the hills, and now they're gonna wait for Exorcism again. And that's the EG game plan in a nutshell. And VICI Gaming will eventually have to jump on them to stop it.
See, second level EG plan. We're going for Refresher Orb. The Assault Cuirass is finished for Fear. Universe, I believe, has now got himself a Rod of Owie. So they've got slow control coming out. Besides the Vice is right for the Tinker, but there's, with that Refresher Orb being available for Arteezy, doing what they did just then on the bottom lane, they tap in to start with. VG Gaming spam most of what they've got to try and keep him out, and then they just go a second time. Because it doesn't work with what they did this time around. They attacked the melee racks, but they didn't bring it down. So by the time they reach it, it's probably going to be at 3/4 of its life points again already. And if you see the line drawn instantly after the fight in the bottom lane by VICI Gaming, they literally just drew bottom lane push to the tier 3 tower on the bottom of the right side. That was their goal. Because they're really concerned about the bottom.
Yeah, they have to undo the, well, kind of undo the damage that EG did by trying to take the tier 3 or at least the racks on bottom lane. And VICI Gaming can kind of do the same thing that EG have been doing. Like we saw earlier, they can turn up, put in another ward, lay down some marches, posture aggressively with the with the Earthshaker, and also just start chipping away at buildings. But for now, EG have been doing a much better job of keeping control of the map, and Arteezy just everywhere.
They found Black. They found Black because the Lycan Wolf was scouting him out. They don't have enough control, however, and PPD is in the wrong place. The Mystic Staff, the Mystic Flare, he couldn't get the 4-staff off in time, which means the gem is dropped inside the river. Looks like Zeus will come in and pick it up, leaving those inventory slots actually free. I don't know if he's actually leaving them both free so he can pick up the gems, or if he's waiting for the next cheese or not. But with the Venomancer down, it means they don't have any kind of prep defense. And Venomancer, he cannot buy back. He's 450 gold away from having his buyback.
With this glyph for EG, I think they're okay to spam this out for at least a little bit.
Even if they have to trigger an early exorcism, it'll be worth it for Arteezy. And the cooldown's not too long. They use the fortification, however, and the nether wall is still on the ground. The wolves are trying to get rid of it, but the Crepify will slow it down. But it's 10 seconds until Venom is up. And they do bring down the ward. In fact, Black will deny it. No extra moolah for Arteezy. Are they going to come up again? They're staying close. There's the all-second of Super! Big initiation! Got the Echo Slam off! And Fear into his BKB form. Looking for a kill. Universe 3 down low. Just to make sure of that for the Earthshaker. Well, that's the only kill so far from him. PPD, big ultimate from him. Now we poked up everybody from VG in a whole lot of guns. As Fear keeps running around, it's very, very fast like a pig. They've got the Tinker down. He could buy back. He can buy back if he wants to. But Fear is right in the back of Byside side. The Crepify to TP out. The Yule Scepter will cancel that one. And then instantly down with a double kill now. They catch up to Black. Is there a stun? Is there nothing? Is there anything? There's nothing. He's out, home and hosed. Roshan is not up, boys. It's another minute and a half before he'll spawn. But the Exorcism, they actually have Refresher Exorcism still available once Death Prophet's up. But that's a long time she's down. And they're not going to push. If they're going to push, he would have bought back already. Maybe Fear could do it solo and just force the buybacks out from VG Gaming. That could just be the objective now. That way they get the better trade-offs for the next engagement. Longer death timers and more money wasted. Yep, there's the buyback for the Pugner. And the Wolves are coming in. Well, I think it's that man though. They don't need the Tinker. But then again with this, Ice Pass, Black pops the BKB. That's probably only a 4-second. Yeah, it's a 4-second BKB. And Fear outran Ice side. The Liquid Fire onto the melee racks. Fortification's available. The Wolves are still beating away at it. And the rank is back down to 500 life points again.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So what was the total progress there? The Rax is going to heal back up. Everybody's respawned. We're a little bit closer to Roshan respawning, which is actually going to be in a sec. And they're going to buy back on the Pike. Okay, so that was the big overall trade. But it does turn out that EG seem to have the slightly better team fight for now. They've actually got tons of incidental damage that's just killing off the Tinker. They've got Zeus's stuff bouncing around. Venomancer actually managed to get a really nice Poison Nova off that fight as well. So Tinker just kind of ticked down while he was etherealed, and that was the big reason why things didn't go that well for VICI Gaming. Razor is a good, good mid to late game hero, but he's He's far from amazing, especially without a refresher orb, and all of the heavy lifting, at least for damage, does need to come from FY. So if he's getting focused down at the start of the fight, then that's trouble for EG. But I say, well, Black, not that amazing without refresher orb, he's just got his refresher orb now, so crisis averted, I guess.
If only Arteezy could do what Black could do. Trigger both ultis at the same time. That would make...
Please God, just no. Please God, just no. I don't even want to imagine that.
You take that concept of smoking. Black's on his way in. Now, they know Roshan's up. And EG, again, they would love an Aegis of the Immortal. But they also don't want to run the risk of losing a fight to VICI Gaming inside the pit. They have everybody up. They don't actually have the perfect offlanes. And the line's been drawn by VICI. They want to come bottom lane now. FY is down here. The creep wave's already going to be pushing in quite nicely. But at the same time, I'm seeing Fear. I'm wondering if he can pick up he can't pick that up though. He'll have to sell his Vladimir's offering. I was wondering if he gets a Desolator, is his damage output enough to actually fight backdoor regen with just himself?
Are we really thinking about this right now?
I'm actually considering this right now because technically you could buy BTs on the Death Prophet. She could TP onto one of the Wolves of Fear. Fear could TP with
I'm hearing you.
They could go for it.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Anything is possible. Right now, though, VG Gaming are focusing on the fight. Universe gets hit by the concussive shot. The Wolves are keeping Super out of this, however. He has to use his blink defensively. But the bottom lane's already pushed into the tier 3 tower. The creep wave in the tower should be able to handle it, but not for long. And Arteezy's going to come back and just Crypt Swarm it down. Sheep's Guard and Crypt Swarm. Money. He really should buy BTs now. Even though the phase switch would be a wonderful up against Razor at this point of the game, he needs to be able to be everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah.
And they're still waiting for
pretty much 5-2-2 anyway.
Back. They're coming back. Now VG Gaming have the high ground. Arteezy. He's inside the pit. The Fizz just locked him in here. He's got no way out. The Death Ward is down. The Silence of Weapon. Zeus the caught Fear. 95 seconds on the sideline. An instant buyback coming out from him. And he's deeping himself in towards the middle lane. The Shiva's Guard and the Aegis are tripped off here by Arteezy. The bump up towards the edge. The ball, high pass with the back of the ball. Nice burst. He's going to get the ball down. Arteezy. Huge amount of damage coming his way. But the next shot keeps him alive, but not for long. F5 with the double kill. While dying, he's trying to move himself away from Black. He popped both of the ults for this one, but the regenerated up or respawned up Fear brings him down. A Piglet unable to kill off the Earthshaker, but Universe coming in to help him off. Rod of Hour have cooldown in 2 seconds time. And the buyback also coming out from Arteezy. They have Refresher Ultimate. Maybe now, after VG Gaming blew everything they had, they can actually claim Roshan. They got some damage being inflicted onto their tier 3 tower in the top lane, so they'll have to TP back straight away. Not something Fear can do, is on cooldown for 12 more seconds. But they do get Aegis and G's after the engagement. I'm not sure if calculated worth it or not.
I don't think so. I mean, it's only really replacing their buybacks. And even they're not the best replacement, especially like Aegis and the Lycan is just not all that amazing. So I think that was...
Well, considering how
maybe
quickly
still pretty good for VICI.
in that middle lane, maybe the Aegis would be good. All Universe. He's into the tree line. He needs to get more space right now. He got the pipe off to FY. As well, Smith declared none of them instantly kill him off. Your Scepter's up. He's got no way out. He's got no way out. He will drop. 79 seconds on the sideline. He has buyback if VG Gaming force things too roughly. But without the Pugner as well as Razor on, there's no pushing power still available for VG. Just flip push power.
FY is still just being a monster this game. He's the obstacle for EG. Black is not that much of a problem. They've found they have enough physical damage to beat him down, and his BKB duration is running a little bit low now. So the Zeus damage and the Venomancer are also stacking up. Earthshaker of all heroes has a Hex, so if that's not a sign we've passed the hour mark this game, then I don't know what is. And
the fact that a Tinker is able to be 5 slotted and then still have 7.6k gold.
Also another sign of a pretty long game.
This is why I was talking about like a 7-slotted Tinker, because he's already like, well, I assume that's his bottle on the ground, but his regeneration so high, I don't think he really cares. But he should be thinking about building it into a Necro book. So we can summon the Necro book before the fight begins, put it back on the courier, send the Necro units in, and then do his normal thing.
Yeah, stuff like Necro, Manta, BKB, just items that he can keep in a courier or in his stash and bring them out from time to time, just to start getting some more chip damage, because that's what this game seems to be all about, just winning team fights and chipping buildings. And now VICI Gaming have found themselves with the advantage on keeping all these lanes pressured in.
Black's up a long way on this bottom lane. It kind of feels like bait though, because it is. They're all sitting behind him. They're keeping the second side, or the third side, the fight is technically secret. Because they've got one FY Super and Ice. They're going to smoke up and come in behind them. 4 heroes are still here. The Plague Lord gave a little bit of extra vision around the side, but EG are in a really great position to jump. They might consider it, considering how far Black is up, but they know what they do. It's obviously bait. The Wolves are scouting it out. And now the Tinker's going to TP in as well. Arteezy on the front lines. Looks like he's got the confidence, but Tinker's just going to capitalize on this. He goes straight to the top lane, keeps the pressure up there. The creep wave's already quite substantial because it's coming in with the double catapults. And EG's got the choice. Fall back or fight. And their only choice really is to fall back.
This is tough. So Zai can almost afford... he can actually afford Hex right now if he can get out to the... Actually, the Secret Shop to pick up his Void Stone, which would be a huge help against...
He's the only player for EG with buyback.
Yeah, he still wants to hold on to buyback for sure, but the Hex is also just so important. If they can Hex down the Tinker, that gives them a little bit more of a chance. He does have a pretty highly charged stone though.
He got the blast off. The Gale will connect on him. The 4 stars coming out. Secondary duel stepping out into the Ice Path. Lets the Macro Fire rip, and look at Ice burn. That was quick death. And like it, triggers the ultimate bomb. They want to get kills. Already Tinker's like, quick. Time to split push. BKB, Black TPs himself out. There's only 4 seconds, but they're going to catch up to Fenrir. 4 stars down, and Fear starts batching into him, but Fenrir, okay. No. Like it damage is enough. And with 2 heroes down, only one of them has buyback. Hugner is short by 900. So the push is already coming up from EG. You notice too, Arteezy heading in towards the middle lane. He's not with the rest of his team. He's just trying to defend and keep this middle lane out. But it's already high ground. And FY is being a real nuisance for this. So they just try and use the like it again to force some buybacks while Arteezy does the defense duty. And, well, FY, well, the creep wave must have been in. Just go back to regeneration. The fortification has to be used. And EG going to come in. He's going to take out the tier 3 tower. He's got it, but now Arteezy is right with the bottom lane. And they've already started off. Black caught out. He got taken up. There goes your BKB. Remember, only 4 seconds, however. And Fear, he got physical damage. This Black, he's almost dropped 150 life points. FY, he's behind the E-Blade. The north up away. Arteezy now underneath the big hit. He's down for 2 minutes. He only had his exit once off, but EG claim Rax. 66 minutes into the game is the first Rax of this matchup. And then looking to fight. PPD, he goes in. He's looking for the head super. Low on life. The poison is keeping him out right now. FY back up into the air. They're keeping him out of this fight, but he also collides. But now he's going to be cancelled by the Ice Path. Perfect position. They got FY as well as Ice Black. He bought back to try and fight this one. Fear. Aegis, he still available. The 43 life points. Triggers the ult. He's going to save the Aegis while the Ice Path and the Wolves, they're beating into Black. He triggered his double ulti for this as well. So the Earthshaker and Crop are the only 2 heroes remaining dead for the moment, but EG, finally, there is a Rax advantage in this 67-minute game.
And there's a Necro 3 Tinker. So taking stock, Rax down. EG do end up losing Arteezy, but they get 2 buybacks out as well. FY doesn't manage to catch anybody. Really nicely done by EG to turn around at the top of the cliff. They saw that FY was just a little bit too far forward, looking for aggressive hexes and trying to catch people on the retreat, and they snap back on him, pick up that kill. Also, really good patience from Zai in the midst of all of that. His hex was on cooldown for just a tiny bit longer, so he yules the Tinker considering that he might need to hex him, but they had enough disables to keep the Tinker locked down, and he was able to save the hex for Ice, who was coming in a little bit later, or save the hex for a potential, well, for the pretty much guaranteed FY buyback. So the little things from Zai really playing out big at this point, and Yeah, EG finally picking up a little bit of an advantage after all of this back and forth. But we've got no tier 3 top, we've got no tier 3 bot for EG, and this game is still balanced on knife edge for who's going to be winning these fights.
One fight, if VG win, they will take a counter racks. That's what it comes down to, and then the racks will just level up, and Tinker will have a great time. Zion's actually at a point right now that every minute and a half he may just trigger off his ultimate so he can see where VG is. That's he becomes a global ward. Should also flag the fact too that Fear, he filled his 6th slot. He built the Visual Blade. He's wanting to actually have a stun, so you can't have moments like Black had where he can just TP himself out under a 4-second BKB. So the Abyssal Blade will be there for that, not to mention the potential bash chance and the increase in damage.
Yeah, I think EG are like one winning team fight away from winning the game, and VICI Gaming are probably like 2, maybe 3. So we'll see how the next little bit goes. VICI definitely with the harder path from here.
He's taking it up. The Hex will remain, but he'll be okay. So they illusion smoke EG, and they're coming up to the top lane. And I think the call is just to wait for FY to try and battle up against Fear again, and then pounce. Zai's waiting as well for the blink point back. The dual breath. Okay, now that's bloody obvious when you do that universe, as well as the lightning. Oh, Courier! What are you doing? What are you doing, Courier? It had the heart recipe. They dual breath the lightning, the creep wave on the top lane, but they're not picking up the smoke, so no one wants to do this. Now the pipe will pop. They try and come high ground. The liquid fire is burning into the tower, and there goes your exorcism from Arteezy. And no qualification of that one. Can't really just defend the chip damage coming out. And EG don't have to overcommit themselves, but he's involved. Arteezy, he uses the BKB, and then instantly into the refresh roll. So he's got another one. Nice ice path too. Holding Black as well as Ice has ice in position. And now the melee rank's down to half-life, and what was really committed there from EG? Like an ulti was still on cooldown, the Necro units were used, but they still have another exorcism available.
Spooky Ghosts 2 Electric Boogaloo. It's like, what am I watching? It's just exorcism spirits hitting buildings. That's all it is.
That's all it needs to be.
That is very true.
Go out to them. Super can't wait. But they don't want to go out and try and fight up on this high ground area, because the second they do that, they can be pushed to the low ground. Now here they come again. Black on the front line, Artour triggering his BKB and refresher off too. Going for the double ulti, but Fear and Arteezy, they come in and they achieve objective stage gaming. They can go in and give us a large amount of damage that they've got. Only 52 points of damage. They can actually keep standing here and fighting his side. No BKB to go towards the high ground. Now Arteezy, there's your Abyssal Blade. There's not the Tinker lockdown. There's no buyback available. Going the risk of the bottom. He's still standing in the middle of the fight, but Fear right in the back end of him. Black, he's got to buy back straight away for this fight. The Gale is actually did manage to connect over on the partner. Fenrir retreating all the way back to base. That ultimate from keeping you with the Aghanim. It was just ticking him down all the way with the VG Gaming 2 pushing and towards gone too. But a split raxing done by EG. They are at a point right now where they may actually eliminate the last Chinese team of the first major Chinese tournament. They take immediately rack. Super comes in. No one goes Slammer Bubble. They bring down Universe, but it's just a Jackie. Now Fear back on the warpath into his wolf form. He's attacking the T4 towers. They realize they can just kill off the heroes, and there it is. It's GG. 71 minutes in and 30 seconds is how long it took. The game was good. Game was golden. And game is EG's 2-0. They will face Cloud9 in the grand final tomorrow. You can find your live stream right where you're watching this one. Oh, EG. Why do they have to do it the hard way? Why do they always have to come up through the lower bracket?
Yeah, who knows? And well, they had to do it the hard way this game as well. I mean, the big thing was they just kind of outweighted the Tinker, really. They saw that, oh man, this Tinker is out of control. We can't really do anything about him. So they just built hearts and BKBs and became too tanky for him to one-cycle people. And, you know, FY put up a valiant effort, but they just couldn't really end the game while he was absolutely at his peak. And there was nobody else really on VICI Gaming, aside from Black, that was scaling anywhere close to the Tinker. And I think that was all EG were really waiting for a time where the Lycan Death Prophet would be would be enough to overcome the Tinker Razor, because they just didn't really care too much about the Tinker. They knew that they had the lockdown for him. So a bit of a roundabout way to win this game. I don't think quite exactly what EG were planning out of the draft, but it's effective, and we're going to be seeing them in the grand finals. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome game, man. Looking forward to it. Of course, if you want to tune in for that one, you can follow the time for it. You can go to justjoindota.com. It's got a countdown over there for the grand final match.